Good day to everyone present. I am Elroyce, the moderator of this group forum presentation. Thank you for taking the time to join us. Today, we will be discussing an important topic under the theme of pedagogy in education, specifically active learning strategies for effective teaching. This topic is closely related to Sustainable Development Goal 4, which focuses on ensuring inclusive and equitable quality education and promoting lifelong learning opportunities for all. Our forum will cover six main areas. The first one is the definition and principles of active learning. The second, common strategies and teaching examples. The third, its impact and benefits. Its impacts and benefits on students. The fourth, the challenges faced in its implementation. The fifth, solutions to overcome those challenges. And the sixth, how active learning supports the objectives of Sustainable Development Goal 4. Without further delay, let me invite our first panelist, Emil, who will begin by explaining what active learning is and the principles that support it. Welcome, Emil.
Thank you, moderator. Good day, everyone. To begin our discussion, I would like to define active learning and highlight its core principles. Active learning is instructional approach that involves students in the learning process more directly than in traditional method. Instead of passively listening to lecturer, students are encouraged to actively participate in tasks such as group discussion, hands-on project, debate, simulation, and case studies. The goal is not just to receive knowledge but to engage with it, question it, and apply it. Active learning requires students to think critically, work collaboratively, and reflect on their own understanding. Some key principles of active learning include learner-centered instruction, where the student takes an active role in shaping their learning experience. Engagement to interaction, where students collaborate with peer and instructor. Critical thinking and reflection, where learning goes beyond memorization and involves analysis and synthesis of information. Application of knowledge, students solve problems, present findings, and make decisions using their learning. One simple but effective example is the think, pair, share technique, where students are first given time to think individually, then discuss with a partner, and finally share their thoughts with the class. This promotes participation from all students, including those who may be shy to speak out in large groups. To these principles, active learning shifts the focus from teaching to learning, creating a more dynamic and responsive classroom environment. Now, I will pass it to our second panelist, Yvonne, who will talk about specific strategies and give practical example of active learning in the classroom. Yvonne?
Thank you, Emil. Now that we understand what active learning is and the principle behind it, I will share some strategies that educators can use, along with practical teaching examples for certain subjects. One of the most popular methods is project-based learning, where students are assigned a real-world problem or challenge, and they work in teams to research, plan, and produce a final product such as presentation or model. This strategy encourages creativity, critical thinking, and problem solving. Next, we have cooperative learning, which involves students working in structured groups to complete tasks, which is with each member having a specific role or responsibility. For example, in literature class, students may analyze a novel in groups where one person focuses on characters, another on the plot, and others on vocabulary. Another approach is problem-based learning, where students are given a scenario or case study and must investigate and propose solutions. This method is widely used in medical engineering education, but is also effective in social studies or science classes. We can also use role-playing and simulation, especially in history or civic education, where students can act out historical events or debate in parliament. In science classes, experiments and hands-on lab work allow students to apply theory in a practical setting. In language classroom, teachers can use debate, storytelling circles, or peer interviews to promote speaking and listening skill. Additionally, gallery walks and station rotation allow students to move around the classroom, view posters or materials at different stations, and interact with different content. This adds movement, variety, and engagement to the classroom. Each of these strategies can be adapted to suit the age level and subject being taught. The important thing is that students are not just sitting and listening, they are participating, discussing, creating, and reflecting. Now let us hear from Ian, who will explain how this active learning strategy benefits students in their learning journey.
Thank you, Yvonne. Now I will share some of the key impact and benefit of active learning on students. Firstly, active learning improves student engagement. When students are involved in activity like group work or debate, they become more interested and motivated in the lesson. Engagement leads to better attendance, improved focus, and more participation in class. Secondly, active learning enhances comprehension and retention. When students apply what they are learning, whether through discussion, role play, or experiment, they are more likely to understand and remember the content. This is especially important in subjects that require conceptual understanding like mathematics and science. Third, active learning helps develop 21st century skills, including communication, leadership, teamwork, problem solving, and creativity. These are skills that are essential not only in school but also in higher education and the workplace. Moreover, students who participate actively in learning tend to be more confident and willing to share their ideas. This builds self-esteem and prepares them to be independent learners. In summary, active learning empowers students by making them responsible for their own learning, which in turn leads to deeper understanding, better performance, and more meaningful learning experience. Now, I will pass to Velide, who will discuss the challenge of implementing active learning and how we can overcome them.
Thank you, Ian. Active learning is powerful, but like all methods, it comes with challenges in implementation. One major challenge is that not all teachers are trained in active learning methods. Many teachers are used to the traditional chalk and talk methods and may feel unprepared to shift to more student-centered approach. Another issue is large class size. In crowded classroom, it can be hard to divide students into group and mentors activities effectively. Time constraints are also concerned. Active learning requests plan and often may take more time than just giving a lecture. Teacher may feel pressure to cover the syllabus quickly and skip interactive tests. Additionally, some students may be reluctant or shy to participate, especially if they are not used to working in group or speaking in front of others. So how do we solve their challenges? First, teacher need professional development. School and university should offer workshop, modelism, and pair mentoring so teacher can observe and practice active learning strategies. Second, technology can be used to support active learning. Tools like Kahoots, Padlet, Google Document, and education games allow teacher to conduce interactive active even in large classes. There, start small. Teacher can begin with simple pair discussion or reflection exercise before moving into bigger project. Lastly, it's important to build a safe classroom environment when students feel respected and supported. They are more willing to take part and express themselves. With their solution, we can help make active learning more practice and accessible. Now I will to pass it to our final panels, Maldo, who will explain how to active learning support the goals of SDG4, quality education.
Thank you, Validay. Now I will explain how active learning strategies directly support sustainable development goal for quality education. Firstly, active learning promotes inclusivity. It allows all students, regardless of background, ability, or learning style, to take part in the lesson. Activities like cooperative learning or flexible grouping make it easier to engage students with different needs and preferences. Secondly, it encourages equity in education. Every student is given a voice and opportunity to contribute. Rather than one-size-fits-all teaching, active learning ensures that all students have the chance to succeed. Thirdly, it supports lifelong learning. Active learning helps students develop skills like critical thinking, problem solving and self-reflection. Skills they have will continue to use long after they leave school. When students are taught how to learn, they can become independent, lifelong learners. In this way, active learning does more than just improve classroom outcomes. It helps to build an inclusive, equitable, and empowering education system, which is exactly what SDG4 aims to achieve.
All right, thank you to all the panelists for your excellent insights. To conclude today's forum, we have explored how active learning can transform teaching and learning through student engagement, hands-on activities, collaboration, and problem solving. We also discussed some of the challenges in implementing active learning and how these can be addressed through training, technology, and supportive learning environments. And most importantly is we have seen how active learning strategies contribute directly to Sustainable Development Goal 4 by making education more inclusive, equitable, and meaningful. We hope this forum has given all of you a valuable knowledge and ideas that you can apply in your future classrooms. Thank you once again for your attention. You're welcome.